Let's do this. When the trailer for the new movie Haunt, which is written and directed by Scott Beck and Bryan Woods and produced by horror filmmaker Eli Roth, who I'm a huge fan of, when I saw the trailer and I saw that it was from the guys who wrote the screenplay for A Quiet Place. They wrote the screenplay, and then John Krasinski, I think he worked on their draft and, directed and starred in the movie and recently finished work on the sequel. Because of the people involved in that movie, except John Krasinski, I was kind of interested to see this movie. It looked pretty awesome. It looked like a, different kind of slasher movie in some ways, even though it, has been seen, even though that look of that sort of storyline has been done many times before. I was thinking a little bit of Tobe Hooper's The Funhouse when I saw the trailer, but with one more killers in that film. And it's about five college students who hear about this no holds barred haunted house experience out in the sticks, and they drive out there and they see all these people in masks, and it's supposed to be like this, you've been to haunted houses at fairs, with people, dressed, all this stuff jumping out at you, and all these like carny people, making sure you have a good scary time. Like, this is supposed to be like a real extreme experience, and really like all the stuff that these people who create this haunted house for people to go there, all the stuff that they create is really creative and creepy. And actually they really put a lot of thought into what each, each room that they go into is going to be. Like, I thought that was pretty creative, and I think, that's down to the writers, Scott Beck and Bryan Woods. I really liked Haunt. I thought it was, for a lack of a better word, awesome. Like, it doesn't like change the horror genre in any kind of way. It doesn't rewrite the rules or anything like that. It is just a really well made horror movie, and it's really well directed by Scott Beck and Bryan Woods. They did a fantastic job with it. They really created some really cool scares. Like, it looks great. It's paced very well. Like, you feel like you're in that location. Like, the location and the production design that went into making that haunted house is fantastic. Like, you really feel like you're there. I feel like with those kind of horror movies, location really is key, and the location in that really works. Like, you feel like you're in that house with those kids, and you feel like you want to get out of there as fast as you can, because the people who are running this place are murderers. They're psychopaths. They're murderous psychopaths. And I really enjoyed it. I was really surprised by how much I really enjoyed it. I was actually kind of terrified by it, because it just, the whole concept and idea around this haunted house and the people who are running it, and just like the mystery around who these people were, like there were some cool surprises, like because you're like, I wonder who they are behind the masks, and then when they take the masks off, it's like, ooh, I think we're gonna need Freud in here to sort of dissect who these people are. So I think, even though it doesn't really ultimately reveal who these people are and why they're doing what they're doing in the movie, I think that works very well. I think they don't go into so much detail about that, and I think that kind of works. And I think it's nice that they really didn't have like a real backstory to those guys, because I think it just made them more creepy and spooky, and I think giving them much more of a purpose than just being a bunch of guys who want to kill some kids who come into their house in really creative ways would have maybe diminished that. And I think they did a really good job. Like, it has the right amount of gore and blood. It's not very gory like most of Eli Roth's movies, which are just, chucking blood at the screen or anything like that. It really relies very well on atmosphere and really nice cinematography, really nice sound design. I think sound is also a really key thing in horror movies, and there's a really good, tense and creepy sound design in this movie that works very well, with the music by Tom and Andy, and the production design and the location. It's like the location, is key, and it works really well for this movie. And also, the thing about this movie that works really well are the performances. Like, the 5 main leads are really good. Like, they're very likable characters. Like, there's nothing about them that feels like they're the stereotypical caricatures from that we see in like the drunk guy, or the I hate to use this word, the slut of the movie, or the virgin girl, like the final girl, or anything like that, or the jock or anything like that. I know I'm using a little bit of analogy from Cabin in the Woods and stuff, but they all felt like normal, real people, like people that you know. And I think they played very well, and you really felt connected with those characters. So you connected in a way that you didn't want them to die. And even when there were characters that did die, you were like, oh no, I wish that guy made it and stuff like that. Like, I think they did a very good job with making likable characters and giving them enough to do and to feel likable and feel realistic. Like Scott Beck and Bryan Woods, they did a fantastic job with this movie. I think they really crafted something that was really just very well made and gave a really good sense of their directing style. And I look forward to the next film they're going to do. I think they're writing a new film. I follow them on Twitter. They just posted saying like, thanks for all the love for Haunt, and we're currently working on our new film. So it'd be interesting to see what their next film is, because I think they're quite creative with their storylines. I think A Quiet Place was something that felt really like almost very fresh and had a unique style to it. And even though Haunt isn't as fresh as A Quiet Place, it did have a really good style and something that felt very individualistic. If you're looking for like something really fun and scary and something that's really like easily digestible with like a lot of substance, do check out Haunt. It is really, really worth your time, and it does surprise you in certain places. And actually, it's very just simple, straight to the point, well done, well made. Everything from like the sound to the cinematography to the production design to the effects to the acting, the writing is really good. It's a not a near perfect movie, but close. And good endorsement from me.